I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
And oh, there we go. All right, now we're connected to YouTube. Yeah, it just took a second. There we go. All right. So, welcome aboard, YouTubers, and welcome back to DeProgrammed. I'm Joshua Cummins. You're listening to DeProgrammed podcast by Revolver Broadcasting on EA Truth Radio, brought to you by EternalAffairsMedia.com. That website again is EternalAffairsMedia.com. If you forget anything that I'm saying here at the top of the show, I'm going to have a reminder for you running consistently across the bottom here. So you know my name, you know the name of the show, you know where you need to go to do things to support this this ministry, and certainly you need to remember to hit the like button if you haven't already. Do follow or subscribe depending upon the platform you're viewing or listening on. Do make sure that you're commenting. That's always going to help break through the algorithm and get more people deprogrammed, as it were. And also make sure that you guys are sharing this content, because sharing is in fact caring, or so I hear. It's kind of a wondrous thing that my soundboard is just like dead in the water over here. So I was going to use it, but it's everything is broken right now. I'm surprised that my audio is working, honestly, because I had to scramble to get it back up to working. It's like everything just decided to break all at once. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get the soundboard up and running again. Because I do want you guys to experience the full experience of being over here on DeProgrammed. It's a can't do it. Huh. But yet it can. Okay. All right. So once again, I'll tell you, sharing is in fact caring. The kids love it. They love sharing. All right, guys. What do we got for you tonight? Well, we're here on DeProgrammed. I guess it is this evening. I guess we'll go with that. We got quite a few things going on. Tried to do this on Saturday, had a number of technical difficulties, but so these stories may seem a little backed up to you, but hey, they're still relevant. And I guarantee you, if you stick around, you're going to have a good time. We're going to be talking about the attempted swatting of Amy Coney Barrett's home. The White House opened aliens.gov. If you don't already know about that, we're gonna hear about Bezos's rocket. Jeff Bezos' rocket exploded at Cape Canaveral. Michigan Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer recants on saying she won't run for president. She said, "Never say never." Breitbart has a story here from Texas. It says Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico. He's at it again. It says he's supporting gun control that would ban private firearm sales. And our final article will be the FCC versus Disney. There's just a lot going on there. You know how Disney going to Disney, right? So we'll talk about all those things as we get into it. Let me just get some stuff closed out here, because I had to scramble to get some things together so that YouTube would get up and running. It was not working at first. So it's good to know that it is up and running now. I get over here to the news desk. Oops, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Now we're at the news desk. And now that we are at the news desk, I'm going to pull up the, see, I told you everything is just kind of wonky today. But we'll get into our first story, shall we? But just before we do, actually, let me take this back off here because I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. We're going to get away from the news desk for a second because I want to remind you guys to buy to get out there and buy some MyPillow, right? MyPillow products. You don't have to buy a MyPillow necessarily, but I mean, you need to buy some MyPillow products. Why do you need? They're fantastic. I really love MyPillow, right? See, I own two, as a matter of fact, two MyPillows. They help me sleep soundly. I could have a fully stressful day. I could have, it's been just crazy, but I lay down on my MyPillows at night like a baby, man. I mean, like out, and I'm a light sleeper, but ever since I bought MyPillow, over, right? Like it just, but if you want to support our Truthful Media Ministry, as well as Mike Lindell and Fair Elections, use promo code Eternal at mypillow.com. You can get up to 88% off depending upon what sales are running. They have many products besides the MyPillows, as I mentioned before. Just go take a look today, and remember to use promo code Eternal at mypillow.com. And if you forget that, it's running in the ticker along the bottom. I'm trying to keep you guys reminded so you know all the things to keep reminded of as this show continues. All right, back to the news desk. And we'll see if we can get some of the rough edges knocked out of this thing, right? First article we have from Daily Caller. It's a conservative Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett reportedly swatted. Now, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett's home was allegedly swatted Wednesday, according to police dispatch radio audio shared on X. Police reportedly responded to a call alleging the sound of gunshots had been fired at Barrett's home. According to the same audio, which was shared on X by freelance journalist Andrew Layden. In the audio, the dispatcher indicates police units are responding to the suspicious noise at a residence that has 24-hour security coverage for a high-priority resident of the county. Be advised, we have not been able to get an answer or a callback to the complainant's phone number. Unknown if it's going to be a swatting situation, the dispatcher says. A police officer responding to the incident can be heard telling the dispatcher that he had made contact with security on scene and that the security officer he spoke with said he hadn't heard anything. We're just going to meet up with him first, just to go over everything, anything rather. The police officer continues. Police confirmed the incident was a swatting call after speaking with Barrett's security. Layden said in the same X post. Visiting the Heritage Foundation fellow Robbie Starbuck shared Layden's post of the police dispatch audio on X, calling the alleged swatting incident attempted murder, which I'm on board with that. That's exactly what that is. I mean, you try to get the police to go up and guns blazing. Definitely. It says someone tried to get Amy Coney Barrett, her kids and husband killed last night. That's what swatting really is. Attempted murder. Cops come in guns blazing, expecting a shootout. People who initiate these should go to prison for life. Thankfully, the cops talked with her security first, prevented a potential tragedy. The left has embraced evil, Starbuck wrote. Now that, of course, the left embraced evil a long time ago. They make friends with it and they make bedfellows with it. Matter of fact, it's this month. They're making real big bedfellows with it. I know that Indiana legislation, because I'm in Indiana, Indiana legislation last week was talking about they want to embrace Sharia law. The Democrats in Indiana legislation, and then the Democrats in Indiana legislation this week want to embrace Pride Month. Well, given that, in our something that our lieutenant governor said, Micah Beckwith said on his Facebook, I think he said it on X as well, but he said, given that Sharia law wants to throw Pride Month off a roof, isn't that contradictory? That was a great statement. It was a throwaway from Micah, but he's on it, man. He's got a great, even if he gets away from the world of politics, he's got a great comedy future of him too. But it's true. I mean, it is very contradictory. Republican Utah Senator Mike Lee also condemned the incident on X. This swatting. He said swatting is an attempt to get an innocent person killed. In this case, a sitting Supreme Court justice. The proper response will be putting the offender in prison for many years, he said. A spokesperson for Fairfax County Police Departments confirmed officers responded to Supreme Court justice's residence. Yesterday evening, which was, now we're talking about last Wednesday, at approximately 9:02 p.m., officers responded to a swatting call at the residence of a U.S. Supreme Court justice in Fairfax County. The call was received through the department's non-emergency line. Officers immediately coordinated with Supreme Court police personnel assigned to the residence and quickly determined the report was fictitious. No additional police resources were utilized. The spokesperson said in the email to the Daily Caller, the May 27th incident is not the first time Barrett's residence has allegedly been targeted. After the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022, the pro-abortion group Ruth Sent Us, because Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that's how clever the left is, allegedly released a map showing the location of Barrett and her fellow conservative justices' homes to encourage walk-by protests, according to Mediaite. Google later removed the map for violating its terms of service by including the approximate locations of the justices. Because they were giving away, and this article goes on to actually at least list the home city and state of the Supreme Court justice, but I'm not going to read it here to continue that problem. I think Amy deserves, the ability to stay safe. In all Supreme Court justices, whether I agree with them or not, should be allowed to stay safe. They should never be feeling like they're threatened in any way, shape, or form. Do you agree? They shouldn't feel threatened in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to try something here. Okay, yeah. That's a little cleaner. Yeah. Anyway. I mean, I'm not for sure what you guys out there are thinking about. But this fool, I hope they catch up with him. And I hope that I doubt that they're going to catch up with him. I doubt that they're going to hold a trial for this person that doxed Amy, but we hope. And I hope that, if nothing else, Amy Coney Barrett and her family stay safe. And so do all the other justices. Like I said, whether I agree with them or not, they have the right to be safe. This is still America after all. And if you're on the Supreme Court, you should be safe. You should never have to worry about your life, regardless of what you say. Now, if you do something that puts your life in danger, then that's on you. But if you just say stuff, or you support a certain idea or a thought or an outcome, that should never, I don't like Ketanji Jackson Brown or Brown Jackson or whatever her name is, because I don't remember. They flip flop her last name, I swear, to like mess with me. I never agreed with her because, especially with the fact that she doesn't know what a woman is, but I would never want her in harm's way. I would never want her in harm's way. I digress. Our second article is from Newsmax. White House opens aliens.gov. The Trump administration on Thursday, this is last week, launched aliens.gov, a space-themed immigration enforcement website that borrows the language of UFOs conspiracy culture to showcase federal arrest data and solicit tips on illegal immigrants, turning a domain name that had sparked speculation about extraterrestrial disclosures into a live dashboard of operations for immigration and customs enforcement. This image makes some sense now, doesn't it? Now, if you're to go there, as a matter of fact, I kind of want to visit that website, see if it'll let me share it or not. Let me see. Let me see if I can share it, because I just think it's great. it may or may not have issues with it. We'll see. All right. They walk among us. For 60 years, the U.S. government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods, and interacting with us in our daily lives. They've shopped in our stores, attended the same classes as our children, and lived seemingly normal existences. With one exception. Oh, goodness, of course. They do not belong here. Millions arrived under the cover of darkness and embedded themselves directly into our society. Countless presidents, congressmen, and senior officials knew exactly what was happening. Instead of protecting American citizens, they chose to cover it up and accelerate the invasion. Until one man finally had the courage to tell the truth. Bold, unapologetic, unafraid. President Trump was the first to call out the real danger aliens pose to everyday American life and the American family, every community, and the future of our nation. The truth is no longer out there. It is right here, right now. Top secret. Encounters 3,129,600, plus. Alien arrest map. Got the whole arrest map going on. You can go to different states and everything, move it around. I got it set for Indianapolis, Indiana, of course. And look at this. Look at all these different countries, the countries of origin. I mean, just, craziness. But yeah, you can click on the top, the scroll to continue, and click on all these different things and look at all the statistics. But it's isn't that fantastic? I thought that was a great troll by President Trump. He said,
we do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
Really fantastic. So yeah, if you guys get the chance, go to aliens.gov and thank me later. And you can also, get some database right there. I mean, live database. People kept talking about they want a live database. Well, now they get their live database. What's going on with ICE? Just go over to aliens.gov and, these UFOs make more sense. UF sombreros. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of fun with it. All right, well, let's check in on Jeff Bezos, shall we? Let's check in on Jeff Bezos. Now, if you hadn't heard, a rocket belonging to Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. This is from the National Pulse, by the way. Company exploded in a spectacular fireball overnight, potentially disrupting NASA plans for a U.S. moon base. What happened? A Blue Origin rocket exploded during a ground test at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station on Thursday night, causing an extensive damage to the launch pad and affecting NASA's plans for a lunar base. The cause of the explosion remains unknown. Just going to go ahead and get that playing for you guys, so you can kind of watch it as I read the rest of this here. The explosion occurred during a hot fire test, with all personnel accounted for and safe. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, intended to carry 48 low Earth orbit satellites from Amazon Leo, was involved. The launch complex completed in 2021. Cost over $1 billion. The explosion could disrupt NASA's Artemis 3 mission, which involves Blue Origin in transporting astronauts to the moon. Space Force has warned the public about potential debris washing ashore, advising against contact. Space flight is unforgiving, and developing new heavy lift launch capability is extraordinarily difficult, commented NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, adding that the agency would work with our partners to support a thorough investigation of this anomaly, assess near-term mission impacts, and get back to launching rockets. He confirmed that information on any impacts to the Artemis and moon-based programs as it becomes available. Just Jeff Bezos says that it was a very rough day, but we'll build whatever needs rebuilding and get back to flying. It's worth it. Well, Jeff Bezos, I don't think you have enough money in the world, buddy. I know that you're loaded with financials and good for you, but so how many billions? $1 billion. $1 billion there, up in flames. At least Elon goes through and says, well, it exploded. That sucks. Yeah. When Elon's rockets exploded, he's like, well, back to the drawing board. But, Jeff Bezos calls it a rough day, a very rough day. I'm not a big fan of Jeff Bezos' rockets. They tend to look a little too phallic. They should probably go back to seeing what Elon has in store for them to continue these rocket launches. But we'll see how it pans out. Now, let's talk about Gretchen Whitmer. Now, if you guys know this woman, she's evil incarnate. I think that even Gavin Newsom doesn't have this much evil embedded into his body. He just can't compete with how much evil this woman has. But according to Just the News, Michigan Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer, she recanted on saying she won't run for president and saying never say never. Just hours after Michigan Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer said that she won't be running for president in 2028, the Democrat reversed her statement to say that there's still a possibility she will run. God help us. Whitmer on Thursday told a Fox affiliate in Detroit that she was absolutely certain that she wouldn't be among the candidates in the next presidential election. She said, there will be a robust group of people running for president, and I will not be one of them in 2028. I can tell you that. She probably got the talk. They're like, look, we got like AOC, Gavin Newsom. We don't have a great deal of people to pick from. So we kind of need you. And I don't know what her appeal is. I have no idea. She even looks like a villain character from, if you're a child of 80s cartoons and 90s cartoons, well, heck, anything from G.I. Joe, she looks like a villain character. She's in real life. She's a villain character. This is just hours after she gave that interview, though. Whitmer retracted the statement at the annual gathering of Michigan's civic and business leaders. Michigan Live reported. She said, I never thought I would run for governor, so I guess I should know better. Never say never, she said. Whitmer is nearing the end of her second term as governor, and due to term limits, she will not have a third term. She is among several high-profile Democratic governors considering the potential 2028 presidential candidates, including California's Gavin Newsom, Maryland's Wes Moore, Pennsylvania's Josh Shapiro, and Illinois' J.B. Pritzker. There's a lineup of ship of fools. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out for them. I don't see a lot of fruit coming from this. I think you're gonna see more problems than not. This woman is she permeates so much evil. I don't know if you guys remember during COVID, but a lot of folks died because of this woman. A lot of folks died. She was just awful. You're not allowed to go anywhere. You're not allowed to do anything. Locking people down, putting the vagrants that they picked up off the street. If they had COVID, they didn't go to jail. They were placed in old folks' homes. Okay, if you're out here breaking the law, Why aren't you in jail? Oh, well, he had COVID, so we got to put him in an old folks home. Make the math, right? Make it make sense. It doesn't, and it won't. Quite sad. I know I'm moving through these articles quite quickly, and so I may just pull up another one for you guys, a bonus. But I've been champing at the bit to get on here because we had technical difficulties Saturday. So anyway, our fifth article we have from Breitbart is in Texas. Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico supports gun control that would ban private firearm sales. Under the heading "Public Safety and Justice" on his campaign website, securing background checks for all guns is listed as one of Tallarico's priorities. Should he be elected to the Senate? Another priority is the passage of a firearm storage law. Such laws typically set forth how guns must be stored, often locked in a safe or container, sometimes separate from ammunition, in order to protect children at home. Someone's coming into your house, whether it be a vagrant, somebody who's just legitimately just wanting to come in and steal stuff or hurt you, or maybe, I don't know, the government. I'm going to keep things loaded. Just saying. I'm not going to separate my ammunition from my hole puncher. I'm just not going to do it. Well, let's just continue to see what he has to say. Or he had to say. He said a third priority is to raise the minimum age at which someone could purchase semi-automatic rifles with certain military-style features like high-capacity magazines. Tallarico is running against Republican Senate candidate Ken Paxton, a staunch Second Amendment supporter who, as Texas Attorney General, has used his position to try to roll back any impact Biden-era gun controls might have on Texans. For example, on April 24th, 2026, Paxton's office announced he secured a landmark legal victory for gun owners, preserving an injunction that prevented enforcement of a Biden administration Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms and Explosives, ATF, rule that unlawfully sought to violate Americans' constitutional right to privately buy and sell firearms. You should be able to do so. You should be able to privately buy and sell firearms. There should never be. You can buy and sell privately swords, right? Or let's take it a step further, because it's all about, they say it's because guns kill people. Well, it's all about intent. So you can buy and sell privately an automobile, can't you? Couldn't you use an automobile to kill somebody? Is it more destructive? I was like, what would you compare a fully automatic vehicle to? As like maybe a V8, but if you have a 4-cylinder, how you can privately sell a 4-cylinder? Use your brain. A gun is a tool. It's a tool for protection, and it's a tool to keep. A tool it can be a tool to hunt, but that's not the argument I want to make. There's always the potential for a government to overtake us. What stops the government from just coming in and clean sweeping this country? Because they know that the potential is behind every blade of grass, there's a pistol waiting. There are more guns in this country than there are people. By 7-fold, if not more. So this is absolute nonsense. If you're in Texas right now and you're even considering Tellerico, move. Don't you dare. Don't you dare go to that poll and vote. Not for that. They cannot continue to do these unlawful things and think that it's okay. There has to be a point where we have to say the buck truly stops here. I know I've been talking about Tellerico and I've had Gretchen Whitmer on there. It says here in 2025, Paxton joined 25 other state attorneys general in a West Virginia-led amicus brief asked the Supreme Court to take up a challenge to the District of Columbia's lawless restrictions of the Second Amendment. He sued the city of Dallas more than once over carry bans that he believed violated Texans' Second Amendment rights. On April 17, 2025, Paxton said via a press release, "I will always do everything in my power to defend Texans' gun rights from cities that would strip us of our legal rights." So if you're in Texas and Ken Paxton's your guy, or maybe you just like to carry, you're like, I'm not much of a voter. Get out and vote Ken Paxton. Even if you don't vote normally, get out and vote Ken Paxton. If you want to keep doing what you're doing with your firearms in Texas, get out and vote Ken Paxton. That's what I'm telling you. You have to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because if this fool right here gets himself into office, he's going to implant ideas that are worse than Biden era. And this guy, I have a feeling he's going to run for president. And there are people out there that are just stupid enough to fall for it. He pretends to be Christian. This guy, James Tallarico, pretends to be Christian but supports LGBTQ. Real quick, let's talk about that just before because we got time before we go into this next article. Real quick, James Tallarico, let me ask you something. If you believe in the Bible, you either believe in the whole Bible or you believe in none of it, right? You can't cherry pick. I think we can all agree on that. Let me dismantle the whole LGBTQ supporting and being Christian. Sexual immorality. Is sexual immorality a sin? Absolutely. We have a ton of scripture supporting that. Right? Now that sex is also straight sex. Any sex that's immoral, that's a sin. Okay. Well, then when is sex okay? Marriage. Got it. Oh, well, what does both the Old Testament and the New Testament, including Jesus, who quotes the Old Testament, say that marriage is? It says it's between a man and a woman. No matter what testament you're in, you can't get around this. So sex is only okay during marriage, and marriage is between a man and a woman. I.e., therefore, homosexuality is wrong on every level. You cannot support LGBTQ and be a Christian. You cannot serve two masters. And this whole thing about pride, it's demonic. Stop it. If you're out there supporting pride, you're out there supporting the devil. If you're out there supporting Pride, you're out there supporting demons moving through this country. And remember, the left will have you believe that they support both. As I mentioned earlier, they'll have you believing that they support both Sharia law, which is Islamic beliefs, and Pride. You can't support those either. As a Christian, you can't. You can be nice to Islamic people, certainly, and pray for them. You can be nice to LGBTQ people and pray for them, but you can't support that stuff as a Christian. You can never be like, "Oh, that's all right. Go do you." You can separate yourself from it and say, "Okay, that's the world. You go over there and do that, and pray for them." But you cannot support it. You cannot call yourself Christian and support those things. As a matter of fact, with Sharia law specifically, they want to throw all the LGBTQ people off of roofs, murder them, get rid of them in a fashion, and they also want to murder you. It's in the Quran. They want to murder you. They're allowed to lie to you, treat you as dogs. Islam is allowed to treat you as dogs. They're allowed to lie to you. It's in their Quran. You can fact check me if you want, but it's in their Quran. Do a quick Google search. Are they allowed? Are Muslims allowed to lie to non-believers of Islam? They're allowed to lie, and they are to tax us until a certain point, and then put us to death when we don't believe, if we don't convert. That's Sharia law. Tell me how that goes along with anything in America. Tell me how that mixes with anything American. And it's like, okay, USA. No, it doesn't mix. It has no place here. Everywhere Sharia law goes, things get destroyed. Everywhere Pride goes, things get destroyed. Let's talk about Pride for a second. Pride is the original sin. Did you know that? I'm not even talking about the homosexuality, but pride itself. What do you have pride in? Your choice of friction? That's disgusting. The first sin was pride. Why was the first sin pride? Well, there was an angel created perfect. His name was Lucifer. And he decided himself better than God. He was going to sit on the throne of God, and he was going to take his place. God said, I don't think so, son. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And he fell. That's why people have the saying, even though it's not in the Bible, they have the saying that pride cometh before the fall, but because of what happened with Lucifer. Those words specifically are not in the Bible, but you can ascertain it from what happened. I had to talk about it. It's been on my mind for several days, and you can take it or leave it, but I'm telling you, you cannot call yourself a Christian. And this guy calls himself a Christian, but supports LGBTQ and Islam. Has no place here. This is the United States. Neither one of those have a place here. They don't. They just don't. This is a Christian nation. And you can quote me. All right. Finally, FCC versus Disney. This is also from Breitbart. FCC details Disney's history of alleged discrimination based on race, gender, and other protected classes. Disney-owned ABC on Thursday last week asked the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, to renew its licenses for 8 broadcast television stations. However, it also attacked Carr over alleged free speech issues. Carr initiated the early license renewal process in April, citing Disney's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The FCC chairman has spent much of his chairmanship reviewing companies that have invidious, discriminatory DEI policies. Carr said in a statement, the FCC has been investigating Disney over a year now, after reports surfaced alleging that it has been discriminating against people based on race, gender, or other protected characteristics in violation of federal non-discrimination laws. The allegations include concerns about Disney's hiring, promoting, compensating, and providing or denying workplace opportunities based on protected characteristics. Disney only filed these applications to renew their ABC broadcast license after the FCC informed the company that their responses to the agency's investigation had been disingenuous, deficient, and improper. Broadcast licenses have a unique obligation to operate in the public interest. The FCC will follow the facts and law wherever they may lead. Emphasis added. He also said, as a result, Spectrum is extremely valuable. Spectrum auctions. Let's see here. Is this a continuation of what I was reading? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Spectrum is extremely valuable. Spectrum auctions routinely bring in billions of dollars for the same Spectrum broadcasters used for free. In exchange, broadcasters are required to operate the public interest of the communities they serve. This sets them apart from distributors that use other technologies, including the internet, cable channels, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that was not part of what I was reading. All right. They have advertisements like embedded right in there. But this is the FCC on Thursday issued a public notice that broadcasters which operate on public airwaves should operate in the public's interest, the FCC wrote. In Carr's letter to Disney, then Disney CEO Robert Iger, in March 2025, he cited multiple reports of alleged discrimination by Disney. He said in recent years, Disney made DEI a key priority for the company's businesses and embedded explicit race and gender-based criteria across its operations. Indeed, public reports, including ones based on whistleblower documents, paint a disturbing picture of Disney's DEI practices. In at least one account, a Disney employee described the company's decision to launch what would amount to racially segregated affinity groups in spaces. The company also publicly launched a Reimagine Tomorrow initiative. It would appear as a mechanism for advancing its DEI mission. It also implemented mandatory inclusion standards across ABC, requiring, for example, that 50% of regular and reoccurring characters be drawn from underrepresented groups. These standards may have forced racial and identity quotas into every level of production, demanding that 50% or more of writers, directors, crew, and vendors be selected based on group identity. It appears that executive bonuses may also have been tied to DEI performance, and ABC has utilized race-based hiring databases and restricted fellowships to select demographic groups. I can tell you from experience, I went some time ago, just a couple years back. I went to a Disney auditions through an agency, and the agency loved me. The agency loved me, and they said, hey, we think you'd be a great fit for a lot of TV programming. As a matter of fact, you're absolutely fantastic, and we would love to continue to work with you. But then things were where I've been doing this for this is my 5th year of doing this. I've been Revolver Broadcasting, my home network. I'm in my 5th year, and so that's public. I don't hide it. I don't put it away. At that time, I was in my 3rd year, And Disney took one look at that after they had already like greenlit me and said, hey, we would probably like to bring you on. You're perfect for like X, Y, and Z and everything. The agency was talking, and then I'm shut out. Well, I wonder why that is. Political, maybe. Likely, I didn't check a box. Or I didn't check multiple boxes. I didn't check any boxes. Straight, white, male. I'm ultimately happy for it because Disney has just went so far off the rails. ABC has went so far off the rails. I'm glad that I never got stuck in that because once you're locked into a contract there, you have to be a character for so long. You have to do these certain things. You're not allowed to, apparently you can say whatever still, as long as it lines up with their beliefs, right? Because, Ziegler, right? Or whatever her name is, the new alleged Snow White, who was not white at all. It's like, it's in the name, guys. It's in the name. The character is pale. She's the fairest of them all. What does fairest mean? It means fair skin. It's like the whole debacle with the Odyssey, and and they have Elliot Page playing a male character, which is it's Ellen Page. It's always going to be Ellen Page. They ruined that girl. She was a beautiful woman. Actually, she was. I believe that they groomed her. I really do. I believe that she was groomed and made to think this crazy stuff. But then they also decided to make Helen of Troy a black character. Helen of Troy is described as having pale arms. Pale. What does pale mean? Well, if words have meaning, it means white. And Helen of Troy is described as skin glowing from never being in the sun. Well, if you're never in the sun and you have pale arms, you're not just white, you're white. Right? And they seen her as such a beauty because her skin was like that of a cream or a milk. It was that smooth, pale. A lot of things happening out there, guys. Keep fighting the good fight, right? Keep fighting the good fight. Don't get caught up in it, man. Don't let it take your joy. I'll tell you that. Don't let it take your joy. I want to remind you guys, if you want to continue to support this ministry, go to donate.eamedia.online. Please go there and donate. Also, please do go to mypillow.com, use promo code Eternal. And thank you again for joining me here for DeProgrammed. I'm glad that it went somewhat swimmingly this time. I'm going to talk behind the scenes. Maybe we can get a time slot change. Maybe if this works out better for you guys. I've seen a few more crawling in and out, so we'll see how it works out. But ultimately, once again, thank you guys for joining me. And I'm going to tell you, as I always do, to stay in trouble. And why do I tell you to stay in trouble? Because if you have Christ in your hearts, you will in fact be in trouble with the world. The world doesn't want you living under his grace. That's your salvation first and foremost. And I pray that each and every one of you has that. I really do. The world doesn't want you praying to him, having a relationship with him, reading his word. And it definitely doesn't want you going out and doing something so dangerous as telling others about him. We've seen that all too often in recent history. All too often in recent history. And even given that, I want to encourage you all to get out there and do it anyway. To go step boldly. Step boldly out there and do it anyway. Stay in trouble. And when I say this, I love you guys so very much. We'll see you on the next one. Keep the notification bells turned on. Bye for now.
Question. Real estate in California. What the Seriously, can someone help? What's an escrow? What's an ARM? What is an REO? What is pre-approval? Can I get pre-approval? Why is inventory so low? Why are interest rates so high? Oh, interest rates not so high? How low is low? How not so high is right?
Before you go down the road of questions, get expert help at championsofhome.com. California Association of Realtors. Who's your realtor?